Joe, what kind of stands out about Kyron Williams, their running back? It's putting up a lot of numbers lately.
He's a north-south runner. I mean, he sees the hole, one cut. He's getting vertical. He runs behind his pads. Very physical runner. Also is becoming a target out of the backfield. So he's doing it all for him.
How much sleep have you lost thinking about him and also Puka and Cooper Kupp?
Sleep. Okay. No, it's on a short week. Defending this offense, is a difficult task. There's a lot of things they do, just in terms of formations, motions, where they align guys, how they're getting the ball, who's blocking, screens. I mean, you name it, they do it all. They do a great job, Coach McVay, in terms of putting the scheme together. So we're really going to have to be on it in terms of what we're trying to do and adjust to everything they're trying to do.
How much of this offense, that offense too, is kind of maybe different than the ones you've studied in the past from McVay specifically? Like, has he gone about it different this year?
Back in 2019, I was with the Niners, and I remember playing them the first game and then coming back the second game and just seeing how they kind of changed things. They were one of the first teams with the, if you want to call it jet motion or turbo motion, they started doing more things off of it. Throw back screens, running vertical routes. Before, in the past, you get turbo motion, he's like, that guy ain't getting the ball. And they changed all that. And he's very much into scheme, attacking your scheme. I think the second game we played him, when I was back there, he ran 21 boots in one game. So, again, he's changed, he's grown. I think he does a good job scheming up what he thinks he's going to get.
Joe, the Saints brought in Issac last year, before you were even part of the staff. Did you have any input, recommendations? Had you told DA about him over the years or anything like that?
At first, I didn't know. I thought he was on the team. There was a bunch of guys that were listed that weren't on the team, but I know I wanted him. Just from my experience with him, going back to the Senior Bowl and in Denver, because I knew what type of player he was.
But you didn't, like, when he was out of work or anything, and like there's no pipeline where you're recommending him to other guys?
No.
Obviously, he had bounced around a lot between then and now. Were you able to gauge pretty early that hadn't shaken his confidence, or did you have to pump him back up at all? Or?
No, he's ready. He's ready to go at all times. I remember he was at the Giants, and we practiced against him when I was at Cleveland. And he was going crazy, getting into it with another guy. He looked at me, I am, coach. I said, yeah, I know you are. But he's very competitive. He's a guy that's not going to back down from a challenge. And like I said, he does everything you ask him to do.
I know I think you were with the Vikings when Stafford came into the league, right? So, the arm talent's still what it was maybe a dozen years ago?
He looks the same. And, back then he was throwing to Kelvin, but he got a bunch of different weapons. But the thing you see him do is go through the progression of the offense. And, maybe back in the day, early on, he was forcing balls into tight coverage, but now he's making really good decisions, putting the ball where it's supposed to be. If it's not there, he's throwing checkdowns. They do some things with their formations to try to ID what you're doing on defense, and you can just tell he has complete control of what they're trying to do.
Joe, I know it was other staffs that made the decisions when he got traded, when he got released and stuff, but could you tell from catching up on his career what was holding him back or what he had to do more consistently?
No, I had him when he was young, and he was still developing as a player, but I knew what I liked just in terms of the size, the speed, the aggressiveness, so I knew it was just a matter of time if he kept developing. So when he was here, I was like, man, I was happy. If you have him looking at it back then, if he's like your fourth or fifth corner, I was like, I'm in good shape.
How do you build off of a 7-sack performance? How you top that?
Try to do it again. It was great to see. I thought that we did a nice job just mixing in what we were doing with our fronts. Brought a little bit more pressure, put together some good pass rush games, and the guys executed them. It was good, man. When you see that energy and guys are having fun, you're getting after a quarterback, that makes it a fun day.
With Nephi kind of taking over the Sam snaps, what is it about? Because he's a little undersized for being in that position, you typically think. So what has he done that kind of gives you confidence in him?
He's just always around the ball. Very athletic player, always around the football. He's a football player. And I remember when I first got here, just like, man, who's that? 45. Who's that? You know what I mean? He was that type of guy. And he's taking advantage of his opportunities. We're doing some other things with Zach. That versatility is really helping us in terms of what we're trying to design defensively.
Thank you.
Hey, Merry Christmas to you guys if I don't see you.
Thank you.